Around the Cabin is recorded before a live internet audience. Be part of the show. Post comments and questions to the host and other viewers. Go to aroundthecabin.com/campfire.
I'm Bob Clayton, co-founder of valleyfoodstorage.com, a local Utah company. I want to introduce you to our products here. We've created the best all-natural food storage that lasts up to 25 years with the greatest taste. Why don't you come down to the website, www.valleyfoodstorage.com, pick yourself up a sample pack and try it for yourself. Let us know what you think.
Hi, I'm John McCann from Survival Resources. We specialize in custom survival kits, all the components necessary to build your own survival kit, and emergency preparedness products. Check us out at survivalresources.com.
All right, let's get ourselves up live in the chat room once again. And remember, you can always follow this link here. It's aroundthecabin.com/campfire. You guys can get in here to come into the chat room and everything else. And I want to thank everybody for being here. That's right, Foos, thank you. TopPrepperWebsites.com. You can click on the link on the front of the page. It's white. Or you can go click on a link on the Facebook page, or you can click on a link that's been put in the chat room right now. Go there and click enter. That tallies your vote for us for Around the Cabin. We have moved up, and we've only been on there a few weeks, and we're up to number 40. That's right, we're moving up fast. And so things are going well for a lot of stuff around here. Have possible, and I know you guys have been waiting for it. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm talking right now with somebody about doing a wild edible show. Okay? And he's going to do some writing and some other stuff. And he is a well-known wild edible teacher. And hopefully he'll come on and do the show with us. So keep your fingers crossed. I know Suki's been waiting on that one. I don't see her in here tonight, though. But, yeah, I know that's one of the things that she's been wanting to do. We're close to number 39, is what Foos tells me right now on the scale there. Great. All right, let's get over here and get this rocking. It's time for the show. Let's see here. Get this and that and this. Let's get over here. A not-so-modern family. Let's get him up. The Backwoods Patriot. Let's give him a ring. The not-so-modern family. There they are.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. Somebody hit that man. I don't know what that is next to that lovely lady. What is that? Stop that. Let's see if I can get them up here on the camera. There they are. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Doing okay.
Good. So how's you been the last couple of nights?
Oh, not too bad. The weather kind of stinks.
Yeah, that's what I heard. The weather's getting rough all over the United States the last few days.
Yeah.
So, you been out there cutting wood? What have you been doing for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've been out there milling some lumber, and I was able to lay a few blocks there when the temperatures were up in the 60s. So I've been trying to keep busy. The weather's really kind of got us dampered down.
Well, you can only do what you can do when the stuff comes up. So
yeah.
That's going to have to be, the people are going to have to understand that's, you can't always decide what it's going to be like when you do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I do get out there when it's pretty cold and stuff, but when it's raining and nasty and ice and stuff like that, I'd just rather not.
Yeah. So now people are talking here in the chat room, so let's reiterate what's going on here. You guys are building a home from, and I'm going to say from scratch, right? I mean, basically, you are cutting the lumber for the house. You are saving your money by actually chopping down the trees and cutting the actual boards.
Yeah, well, I'm not chopping the trees down. I've got a little gas-powered help, but yeah, I'm milling the lumber myself.
Well, you're cutting it down with a chainsaw. You're chopping it with, I don't say you stand out there with an axe and swing it, but
yeah,
it is going that way. So, and
yeah.
how's your wife feel about that?
How do I feel about that?
How do you feel?
I like
that?
anything that saves money, for one thing.
That's a keeper right there, son.
Yeah.
There you go.
As long as it's strong, dry, and warm, she pretty much don't care.
Yeah.
Waylon Whaler in the room. Hello, Waylon. Wants to know, how do you get around the building codes with that?
I just don't worry about it. There's not really any enforcement here. There's, people out here just build whatever they want to build, and that's it. Even if I wanted to get a permit to build, there's no way that I could do it because the inspectors will refuse to inspect it because it's not graded lumber. The lumber has not been inspected and graded. So even if I wanted to go through legal channels and things like that and get building permits and get it inspected, it would be impossible. And I just don't personally agree that just because the lumber isn't graded doesn't mean it's strong,
So he's also you're building on property that is in your family.
Yeah.
And there already was and has been established housing there. And you're so far back in the sticks. It's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. You kind of make your own rules up as you go along. I'm not saying we're completely, outside the law or whatever, but I mean, it's just not an issue that's going to come up.
There you go. Fu says building codes. Those are some other guy's opinions written in some magic book. There you go.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous to me. I mean, you can go to Lowe's and get a 2x4, an 8-foot long 2x4, and set it up across 2 concrete blocks, and then set one of my white oak 2x4s up across 2 blocks, and my 2x4 will hold, I guarantee, at least three times more weight than the commercial 2x4. So just because it isn't graded doesn't mean it's not strong.
Well, I have actual oak 2x4s that were used in a house many, many years ago.
Yeah, you'd have to pre-drill to get a nail in now.
Right. When the house was dismantled, we saved some of these boards. The idea was I was going to use those boards in another house. The problem is I can't. They won't use those boards in the house as a structural part of the house because those boards are not marked. Those boards don't have any kind of inspection on them because back in the day, they needed boards. They went up to the sawmill and you said, I need this many boards. They cut them and you brought them down and you put them up. Now that house is so old, those boards are so old, they don't have the same code on them as they would have nowadays. So they wouldn't let me use those boards.
Well, I understand that they need building codes because if we didn't have building codes, then contractors would run wild trying to build cheaper and cheaper houses, and it would be unsafe. But
right.
that's just not what I'm not trying to cut any corners. Anything I do will probably exceed any type of structural building code. It's just the fact that the lumber isn't graded.
Now, H. Witt, where he's at, he's got a cabin built, and actually he worked on it. It says, I have no septic or he has no wall electricity. His cabin's totally off grid. He never had to get any permits either.
Yeah, people build around here all the time. I mean, it's not, in bigger areas you have to get permits to put fences up and stuff. It's just not that way here. I mean, you should, if you go to if you go to a bank and get a loan, a construction loan, sure, you're going to have to get permits and hire a contractor and all that, but it's just not something that's going to come up way out here.
Yeah. Well, WW, it depends on. Well, yeah, you could do that down there because nobody goes to the end of your road. Nobody wants to go in a swamp. Building code inspector, yeah, he's back here swimming somewhere with a log chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No, that kind of thing goes on. You know, it just depends on what part of the country you're in. It depends on where you're at and what goes on. I mean, you hear about all these enforcement stuff, and you hear about people, oh, they got thrown out of a house, they were living off grid. Well, you know, that lady down in Florida that happened to, that they bring up every once in a while, that got thrown out of her house, and she was supposed to be off grid. She really wasn't. She was hooked into the electric. She had plumbing. She had everything else. It was a house in a subdivision, and she decided that she wasn't going to pay for water or electric, so she considered that, quote, off grid. She still had to deal with the housing commission on the place where she lived. She had to deal with, you know, she was using the plumbing as an exit from her house. She was dumping rainwater in the toilet to flush the toilet through the city pipes. Yeah. They're going to charge you for that.
Yeah.
So
basically, what it comes down to, the main defense that I would post, and it's really the only one that you would ever need, is how many houses that were built just 10 years ago leak like a sieve and are structurally unsafe already, versus a house that's been standing for 120 years and you could hit it with a truck and not dent it. I mean,
how many houses have been repaired in the last 10 years that aren't up to code?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I used to spray insulation, the cellulose insulation, and I would go into attics of just built houses that, you know, they're not even on the market yet, and half of the roof trusses aren't even nailed down. You know, I just about fell through the ceiling on one of them because I lost my footing and reached up and grabbed one of the trusses, and the whole thing came loose.
Oh, that's terrible, terrible. Well, you've got a video for us tonight. You want to set up for the video?
Yeah, this video is just kind of an update of what we've been up to this past month. So it's just a little montage, if you will.
All right.
And we can talk over it. There's no words. It's just all music or whatever. So.
All right. Well, let me get this. Let me change the screen here real quick. And add a different screen region real quick here.
WW said if you don't build it good enough, it'll fall. Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Willie is a man who speaks the truth.
Yeah.
Making some large soap.
Yeah.
So Heather, was there I'm going to stop this for a moment here, Heather. Is there a scent you used for this soap?
Those particular bars of soap, I used lemon and I used blueberry muffin.
Ooh.
Yeah, they smell really good.
Well, is it very hard to make soap? You'll have to talk to us after we get done watching this little bit of video, but I would love for you to post the recipe, and
the actual recipe is actually on my YouTube channel.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, these little snippets of video can be found in their entirety on my YouTube channel.
Oh, very nice. Which is
Backwoods Patriot.
Backwoods Patriot on YouTube. You guys look that up. Are you in the chat room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put your link in there for that if you would.
Okay.
Okay, and to answer the question, if we've been using the soap, we haven't used it yet because you have to let it cure for around 3 weeks, at least 3 to 4 weeks, before you can use it. So that particular batch of soap we have not used yet.
Yeah, you have to let it get dry before you get it wet.
Basically.
Oh, now where'd you get these little figurines? Are those cookie cookie things, or what are those?
They're silicone molds, and you can use them for so many different things. Soap, chocolate. We've made Lego bricks. Those are supposed to look like little Lego men.
Very nice.
Yeah, and you can order those on Amazon.
Okay.
And eBay, I believe. But we also have like little Lego bricks because our kids love Lego. So we've made chocolates, and you can make cake in them, and all different kinds of things.
Now you put this in a, what is this you've got in a deodorant stick?
Yeah, this is the deodorant that I made. I just took an old container and poured the liquid mixture in it and let it harden.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm also showing that you can make them in silicone molds as well.
Well, I'd love to see some articles on this or explanatory video.
Yeah. And we've got those up on his YouTube channel where I talk and have all of the ingredients listed and all kinds of that stuff. And I plan on doing a lot more videos like those.
Very
You could
nice.
probably also type up a blog.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a blog. I think you've got a blog set up here. If you want, you can post it here at Around the Cabin also.
Yeah, that would be great.
And I think we've got you set up for that. You'll have to ask Foos.
Okay.
Are those silicone muffin?
Yes, those are also silicone. We really like the silicone molds for making stuff like that. I've made like bath fizzies and all kinds of different things because it just pops right out super easily.
Oh, I have got to get some silicone muffin. Yeah.
They're not too expensive. I think we got those off of Amazon. And in response to a comment on there, we also make laundry soap as well.
Now,
We plan on-
do you sell any of this?
No, I actually plan on selling some of my soap later in the spring or possibly summer at the farmer's market, but so far we haven't sold any of that.
Okay.
I did sell laundry soap for a little while.
Well, you might get somebody who's interested in purchasing some of that stuff by watching the channels here, watching
Yeah.
the show. You'd be surprised. You
We've been
have-
doing... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that we've been doing interesting scents. We also have like the blueberry muffin laundry soap, and we have Fruit Loops and all kinds of just crazy scents that we've been using. So that's pretty fun.
Well, you can put them up if you're interested in that. You can put that up there on the Around the Cabin Facebook. You may get a couple of sales that way. That's open for everybody.
I'm going to go ahead and put our Facebook page in here, so
Yeah,
if
go ahead.
anybody is interested in that, then they can just get a hold of us there.
Yeah, go ahead. Put that in there. Put all your info in
Somebody's
there.
asked-
Put Heather's got her blog. Put her blog in there too.
Yeah, my blog is just www.homemakingheather.com.
There you go. HomemakingHeather.com.
WW, my string line is actually down in the trench. I aligned the bottom row, and then the next two rows that I lay on top of that, I just align with a 4-foot level.
Making your own 4x4s here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had never cut anything under 8-inch wide material, so when I went to cut those 4x4s, it was going super fast, so I got kind of excited on how fast it's going to go to cut 2x4s.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Because when you get into like the 8 and 10-inch wide material, you know, you're taking up, you know, half of the 30-inch bar. It goes pretty slow.
Got to drill them holes first before you can drive them nails. You see that?
In that particular spot right there, I did. I drove the other ones without drilling, but in that spot I bit 6 nails in one hole. So
Huh.
what I had planned was I was going to use the winter time to just cut tons and tons of lumber. That way I'd be ready to go for the spring. But I'm telling you, after 4 or 5 days of just nothing but cutting and that loud chainsaw and the vibration and stuff, it gets to you a little bit. So I guess I'll probably more than likely cut as I go. You know, I'll cut all day long, and then just in a couple hours nail in the boards that I cut that day.
Yeah.
It seems to hold better against twisting and warping too, because you know, when they're totally green and wet and heavy like that, as they dry out, they'll check and crack and twist a little bit if you don't sticker them and weigh them down with a lot of weight and stuff. So, but if you nail them into place green, then everything kind of moves together as it dries.
Now, what is this with the PVC? You got a chicken tractor here? Or?
Man, the neighbor's dog, about 2 weeks ago, I posted a video on YouTube of me on the phone with the police and everything about it, but the neighbor's dog tore up my other chicken coop and killed one of the chickens.
Oh.
It's the same dog that got our rabbits.
Yeah, it's the
last time,
same
too.
dog that attacked our rabbits before too, but so the dog got put down, but yeah, I was kind of forced into building something in an emergency, you know, time sensitive, since
A temporary.
yeah, just to hold them, but it seems to be working pretty good, so maybe I'll just keep it as the permanent structure.
Until we get moved. We used to own the property next door to the one that we have now, and we had a big coop, but we were just doing, I don't know, a temporary thing, and so maybe this will work out better. Hopefully.
No big fish that time around, huh?
No, I really don't know if there's any left in there or not, because I don't know a lot about, you know, how long fish can survive in a pond without being looked after and cared for or fed or anything. I don't really know a whole lot about the habits of fish in ponds just yet, but my father-in-law said it was stocked like 25 years ago. So
I think my brother said that he has fished in it semi-recently and that there were at that time. So
there you go. Willie says he uses a little lever to split his wood. You push it forward and pull it backward. And...
yeah, man, I get comments on that all the time about, I don't know. I guess I'm crazy because I'll get a comment and I'll tell them I actually enjoy going out and splitting wood. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's, you know, you swinging the heavy maul and getting your frustration out or what, but it feels good to me, and I actually look forward to it.
There you go. There you go. No, I go out and hit golf balls. I look like Happy Gilmore when I hit golf balls. So
Yeah,
I get my frustration out that way, you know.
yeah.
I've had people ask me, "Man, you really drive a golf ball? You play in that?" I said, "Nope, I don't play golf. Nope, I might putt around a little bit, and I'll drive golf balls, and I can hit them over the back fence at the range, and I don't." I said, "You know what? Here's my idea of golf. You guys, there might be golfers in the room. I have to apologize. If I hit the golf ball and I can find the golf ball, that's worth going back to the clubhouse to get a drink."
Yeah.
Because when I hit the golf ball, I got no clue where it's going to go. So,
yeah.
But that's no, that's my idea of golf is, you know, no, I can drive them out there, let that guy drive around, pick them up. That's it. So, let's see here. How's the thrift shop going? Now, Waylon must know you. Waylon Whaler must know you. They want to know how to
maybe a YouTube subscriber with our video.
Yeah,
yard sale
he's
thing.
most likely a YouTube subscriber.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that name comment before, but it's not really a store. We just it's just a commercial building that my father-in-law owns in town, so we use it to have sort of makeshift yard sales in. We'll go around and buy up stuff at auctions, and then we'll take it to that commercial building. And once or twice a month, you know, one or two weekends a month, we'll open the doors and put the signs out and sell some stuff. But it's not really a store. But, you know, so as far as how it's going pretty good. I mean, it's
been a little cold.
Yeah.
So we have to take the kids there, and they kind of freeze. So we try to do it on the weekends that are warmer, so that the kids aren't so cold. Because it's got a wood stove, but
yeah. Her dad's kind of anal retentive about. He thinks we're children for some reason, and he doesn't trust us to build a fire. So
there you go. Yeah, I know how that goes. I got a father-in-law that's the same way with candles. And I asked him. I said, "Have you ever burned anything down, or have you ever been involved in a fire or anything?" No. Well, what's the fear of candles?
Well, candles aren't even allowed in my parents' household. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's just because your dad doesn't like the smell.
yeah. Well, no, he'd probably think that my mom would burn the house down too. So there you go.
Yeah. He thinks everyone is a child, but that's
Basically.
okay.
That's right. That's right. They control everything. Yeah, it sounds like my father-in-law. Are you sure?
Well,
we're
I mean,
related?
he is giving us use of 1,200 acres, so I'm not going to trash him too
Yeah.
much.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Dad. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it is working out really good to supplement our income. I'm reading the comment. It does help us out quite a bit. We do go around and do a lot of, auctions, and I do some kind of extreme couponing and some other stuff, and it does.
It wouldn't even necessarily have to be supplemental income if we got more into it, because in the summertime, I think it was the beginning of last summer, we hit some good auctions and got a lot of stuff, washers and dryers and all kinds of stuff. And we made like $800 in one day.
I'll tell you what, we got to get helping you out. What we need you to blog some with us and put some of your videos up here on Around the Cabin and other stuff to get some notice with all the subscribers we have, and share some stuff on our Around the Cabin Facebook page. And we'll see if we can get some people in your area to come down there and check that out. And Heather, I'm thinking with you getting right and going on, you got hopefully you've got AdSense on your blog and that, we can drive some subscribers over to you and have them check out that stuff. And who knows, maybe you'll want to sell some of them soaps and other things. I know my wife loves all kinds of different scented soaps and stuff. Matter of fact, I had got some goat milk soaps from Tammy Schreier, and I never got to use them. She took them all.
I actually plan on making some goat milk soap.
Yeah, we'll have goats once we move out there.
So if you want to get some stuff going up there, I know at least one lady here who would be interested in purchasing stuff off of you. I guarantee you that.
That would be awesome. And yeah, I do post periodically on my webpage and on my personal Facebook page for my website. I'm going to be a little more active soon. We just kind of took a break with, Christmas and kind of just relaxing and stuff. I was posting like several posts a day, so I will be active again, doing a little bit more. So,
H. Witt wants to know, what state are you guys in?
We're in Missouri, the show me state.
There you go. Let's see. They want to know, are you going to have, remember, put your questions in red, people, so my old eyes can read them. Are you going to have any animals out there on the homestead once you get out there?
Yeah, my father-in-law runs beef cattle, and so I don't think we're going to probably get in on the beef cattle thing. We might throw a couple in with his herd or something, but we'll bring our chickens with us. We will have pigs. We'll raise pigs, and then we'll have goats.
There you go. Well, I like goats. Dogwood Annie said she's in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That is pretty close. But Ava, how far away is that from us?
Yeah. I know where Ava is. I used to run around there a little bit when I was a teenager. We're about 70 miles from Ava.
There you go. Willie's been everywhere. He traveled all over the place.
Joplin is a terrible, terrible place. Joplin has really gone downhill.
Oh no!
But back to the livestock question, we are going to have goats and
chickens and pigs.
Chickens
oh my!
Yeah. Oh my!
Mike Parker wants to know if you have any Osage that you've cut to sell out there.
No, not that I know of. I'll be honest, I don't really even know what Osage is.
It's the big green hedge apples, Osage oranges.
Okay, I know that we do have some out there somewhere because my grandma does.
There's some out there, but I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do with them.
We're really just getting into that kind of thing.
Well, you have a talk with Mike Parker one of these days here on Skype or something. 'Cause Mike's always looking for Osage to make bows with. He makes bows, so.
Oh, he wants the actual tree.
Yeah, he wants about a 6 foot tall section, about 6 or 8 inches around.
Boy, the shipping on that puppy'd be pretty high, being green and wet.
He'll pay the shipping.
Yeah.
He'll pay the shipping. He'll get that stuff and go that route. Yeah, he's done it before, so he likes that kind of stuff. You better watch it. He just might show up out there and pick it up too. He's that kind of guy. He might jump in a truck and just show up out there. There you go. So, let's see. We've got here the Osage. Nope, we're done with that. Did I miss any questions? I'm going back, trying to go back up and see. Livestock in the spring, we covered that. Well, Heather, how hard was it to do that large soap?
It wasn't all that hard, actually. It was pretty easy. My biggest hurdle was the fact that I couldn't find my stick blender. I have absolutely no idea where it is. And so I was trying to do it with like a hand mixer, and it took forever, and my hands felt like they were going to fall off. So I'm not going that route next time.
Gotta have an electric mixer of some kind, huh?
Yeah, well, I have a stand mixer. It just works a lot better with the little, the
little choppy stick blender.
But so next time, if I can't find it, I'm going to definitely use my stand mixer, because that part was horrible. But other than that, it was super easy. So,
I mean, the whole thing only took like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was easy. I'd been kind of scared of it for a little while, but yeah, it was easy.
I'm gonna have to watch that and get into that. Now, do you think I really don't want to get my big KitchenAid dirty to do that. I've got a big KitchenAid stand mixer. But
yeah, that's what we have.
Would a hand? I've got what they call the boat motor, which is a stick mixer. I've got one of those also.
That would be best.
How about one of those, like the old beater ones, the old electric?
That's what I use.
That's what she used.
That's what I use, and literally I felt like my hands were going to fall off. So I would recommend the stick.
More so than like the two just spin opposite each other?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. All right, well, I'll have to give that a shot one of these days. You guys look like you are doing great and very ambitious. I'm curious, do you have an end game plan with the homesteading? Yeah, to live there. That's the plan, right?
Well, I understand what he's getting at, and the best way to answer it would be our main objective is to only have to go to the grocery store for like sugar and spices and things like that. We want all of our food. That's why the pigs and the goats and the chickens and everything. We want to have all of our food come from that place. I mean, with 1,200 acres, it should be pretty easy to do. I mean, not physically easy, but it should be very doable.
You need more kids.
3's enough for me.
My dad's the oldest out of 12.
Here, we got one.
The
right
3
here.
I've got don't do anything. Why have more that don't do anything?
That's not
Well,
true.
they will eventually. I mean,
Our
come
daughter
on
is
now.
very helpful.
Yeah.
The older they get, the more you can stick them with. I mean, they can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Gary's got to jump off. All right, Gary, have a good one. Gary's off grid. He lives with his solar power and wind power, and that's how he powers his stuff. He's 100% electric off grid.
You'd like to do it, right?
I would like to do that, and I've said before, and I'll say again, if it were completely up to me, we would have no running water and no electricity at all whatsoever. My wife, however, she broke it down pretty simply and said, if we can't get internet, I'm not moving out there. So the electricity thing.
I'm the terrible wife.
And air conditioning and all of that, you'd have to get a 6,000 watt system, and that'd be almost $20,000.
Yeah, it is. It's super hard with kids, and I stay at home with my kids and enjoy doing all this stuff, but I also enjoy blogging and doing that kind of stuff. And I finally just kind of feel like I found something that I really like to do. So I just,
Well, let me tell you, you fall in with a lot of the people. Now we have our friends Tammy Trayer. From Trayer's Wilderness. They are off-grid. It's 5 miles to their post box. Okay? They are up on a hill out in the middle of nowhere. They hit a tower for internet. Okay? With wireless. They have a deal worked out with somebody. They don't have electricity running to the thing. They built their place by harvesting the wood and doing everything you're talking about doing. They did it that way. They lived in a wall tent and everything else. But they didn't have little kids. Their son was not that small. And,
yeah.
So
this little guy right here is just a year old.
Right. So it takes a lot of work and a lot of things. But they make their living via the internet. she writes and she does other things, and of course she sends the writing in via electronically and things like that. Shares her stuff, does her shows, so they live doing this stuff that way. That's their business. That's how they make their living. They sell off things that they have there. Same thing with our friend Fixed by Doc, who does a show every Friday night. His cabin is off-grid. The only thing he did is he had them run the cable to the cabin. Actually, he ran the cable to the property, and then he ran it to the cabin, drilled a hole, shoved the cable line through the cable, and then hooks up to it to do the shows with us. Other than that, his water's off-grid, his power's off-grid, and everything else. It's just him and his wife, but they do their business and they do their other stuff via the internet.
Yeah.
So, saying, he's got a solar-powered water heater for his shower, so he has a hot shower. There are certain stipulations. You, as a man, will say, I can take cold showers and this, that, and the other.
I never said I'd take a cold shower.
And the wife's going to look at you and go, you can go outside and do that. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got to keep mama happy to keep that stuff going on in the house there. And I can understand, because later on in life, as you guys get older, you're going to rely more on other things that you've got set up. And maybe she's got her writings done, and you've got your writings and your videos and your know-hows and your stuff, and you're going to be able to sell your things via the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've tried it. It's a sad sign of society, really. I've tried making handmade furniture. Even
awesome at it.
Even out of the wood that I mill myself, which should be a huge selling point. It's just nobody around here will pay anything. I mean, they would rather go to Walmart and get a $30 coffee table that lasts 2 years rather than buy something from me for $300 or $400 that will last 300 years.
It's called the McDonald's lifestyle.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't hardly take things from your home like you used to be able to, and use your knowledge and skills to turn that into an income. It's very hard to do in a society where people don't value hard work.
Well, that is 100% true, but you can make the things for yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make my own kitchen cabinets.
Do you know that a dining room is now an option in a new house?
Not in our house. I'm building a 10-foot dining table.
Okay, I'm telling you, in a new house, when you have a house built nowadays, they don't even include a dining room, because most families do not sit down as a traditional family and eat together. A dining room is an option. That's why you don't see.
Yeah,
that's
a dining
why you don't
room
see
is an
people
option, but a built-in entertainment center is standard.
Right, and you don't see people buying. I have the six person table with the leaf, the matching butler. I have the big giant glass china cabinet. They don't sell those anymore because nobody has a formal dining room. People don't sit down to eat as families anymore. We
eat every single meal together as a family.
That's what we do. 6 o'clock is dinner time. My family knows 6 o'clock, that is when dinner is served. There's no questions asked. That's 6 o'clock, we're all sitting down eating dinner. So,
yeah.
We keep that as a family together thing. So if one of my daughters comes over, I don't even answer the phone. 6 o'clock, we don't even answer the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. It's family dinner time, and that's it. And that's when we sit down and do that. But the nuclear family, it doesn't do that. It doesn't deal with that. It's what did mom bring home from work? On the way home from work, she stopped and got us, Burger King or McDonald's or, whatever. That's how they live nowadays.
And that's another thing. We eat out one time a month.
We don't go to McDonald's or anywhere other than one time a month, and usually it's like a Chinese buffet.
Yeah, like
or something.
A local sort of place, not a chain.
But once a month, that's it.
Well, and you're probably a lot healthier for it too.
I don't know about that, but we eat home cooked meals. We like to eat.
I like meat and potatoes for every meal.
I don't mean weight wise. I mean health wise.
Yeah.
That's what I said. You're a lot healthier for it too. Just because you like to eat doesn't mean anything else. It means you eat better food than what you would get. I mean, come on, man. You go to McDonald's. Are you sure that's meat?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not.
Yeah. I've always been blessed in that way. I've never had any chronic pains or anything like that. I've always been able to just go out at 6 o'clock in the morning and work like a dog all day and come home at 9 p.m. And I've just always been able to do that. I know a lot of people that aren't able to do that, and that's unfortunate.
Are you making a reference to someone sitting next to you? No. The diabetic in the room?
I'm diabetic, dear.
Yeah. Kids these days.
I'm diabetic, so is my wife. My wife is disabled.
You okay?
And I'm partially, so it goes that way. You do what you can do.
Yeah.
Am I going to get out and do what he's doing? No. I physically couldn't do that. My back wouldn't hold up to that, doing what he's doing. But my hat's off to him for doing it. But I'll do everything I can. And my thing for helping everybody is we do the shows here so that he can come on and share the information. And maybe somebody else that's young and looking to get into this can jump on it. And you don't have to be young. You could be like H. Witt, who... H, when you and Noah were cruising around on that boat... You can tell us that story one of these days. But yeah, H just got his cabin finished, and he is up there in Tennessee, isn't it? I think H is in Tennessee, and he's living up there in a cabin. No electricity and no running water and the whole 9 yards and all that good stuff. And he's got a chunk of property, and that's what he's doing. And he's older than I am, which is pretty freaking old.
That's awesome.
That's one thing that I really am glad about, that I had an opportunity to do this while I'm still young and able to do it. And that's the same reason why I had children so young, is because I knew straight off that I wanted to be around long enough to enjoy grandchildren and be able to pass things along like my grandpa did.
Well, now let me tell you, you said that. But then you turn around and you mention stuff like, if I had a choice, there'd be no electricity and no internet and this, that, and the other. But I'm gonna put something in your head. How old are you?
30.
All right, I'm 48. I was, as they would say, the cock of the walk and king butt kicker and everything else in 2005. And then July 1st. I got involved with a little action overseas, and within a matter of moments, my life changed.
Yeah.
All it takes is one slip with that chainsaw. All it takes is one bad swing with the axe. All it takes is a stroke, a heart attack, a fall off a ladder, anything like that. Your life changes. Things we have no control over. And you may rely on her and the internet to provide for you and your kids. Even though you don't want that to happen, it may. And you have to have those options open.
I will be totally screwed if I have to rely on her to take care of me. She tries to smother me in my sleep.
Okay.
No, I really don't take that stuff for granted. My dad just died 2 years ago at 53 years old. So the heart disease and things like that run in my family. So I know that I'm at risk, at least an elevated risk for things like that to happen. So,
but your life can change in a blink of an eye. All it takes is a drunk driver. All it takes is anything. And, so having those options open where she's doing what she's going to do means that you ain't got to sit out in the rain and take cold showers. Because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody going to be happy in that place.
That is the truth, right?
Even when mama is happy, some of us don't. What makes her happy makes me angry.
Well, you'll have to... You'll mellow. The older you get, you'll mellow. Right now, you're still...
Oh yeah.
She's broken my spirit down just like a
Okay.
stallion.
I think with the two of you sitting there, she's probably the best thing that ever happened to you, and you know it. Although your show's going to say otherwise, but I know it.
Don't
I
look
read
at
you
me.
like a
I'm not
book.
admitting nothing.
Oh, okay.
She's
Whatever.
got that. She's probably got that little thing around her little finger, which is you, wrapped around there. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
If she asked me to do the dishes, I wouldn't do it. But if she asked me to build her house, I'd do it.
I guess that's acceptable.
You do the dishes. If
No.
something was wrong,
He really doesn't.
if something was wrong and she was taking care of them kids and whatnot, and you needed you to do them dishes, you'd do them dishes.
I'd tell the kids to do the dishes.
Oh, it's a soap opera now.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Oh, I wanted to point out though that Michael from your channel is on here. I don't know if you saw that.
Hello.
That's who is speaking.
Yeah.
There you go. Very cool. So what do you got planned for this? What are you going to try and get planned for the next 2 weeks?
Well, I'm going to finish the shed building that I'm building. My wife is getting kind of irritated with me carrying that big chainsaw and all my tools around in the back of our family van. It kind of smells like gasoline.
I left my kid's coat in there for like a day, and it smells like gasoline.
So I got to get that shed finished and a door made for it so I can lock up my tools out there and not have to pack them around. So that's definitely going to get done. And then just every opportunity I get where the nighttime temperatures are above freezing, I'll be out there throwing some blocks up.
All right. Now, are you going to have to worry about anybody getting your tools while they're out there? Are you going to have a good lock on there? Or what?
Well, it's, you know, if somebody wants in bad enough, they'll get in, and there's nothing that I can do about that. But, it's a structure that's made out of solid white oak, and it'll have a Brink security lock on it. So that, if somebody gets through that, then they wanted it bad.
Is your your father-in-law out there? He's out there at the property anyway, right?
Well, he's about 3/4 of a mile away. It's a big property, There
Somebody pull it up, he'll see the headlights or something.
No. It's such a big property that even though her entire family basically lives in close proximity of this piece of property, you would never have to see any of them if you didn't want to. I mean, there's like a county road that goes up in between and splits the property in two. And, we're 3/4 of a mile from her dad's house, a half a mile from her uncle's house, about 1.5 miles from her brother, and about 1 3/4 miles from her grandma. So we're all the way off by ourselves.
Well, at least you're around the family out there.
Oh yeah, that's one of the values that I really want to pass on to my children. People didn't used to move far away from each other like they do now. The families used to stay together and work together and live together.
Yep.
And I just think that that's a good system. I mean, even an extended family of, grandma, grandpa, father and mother, child and children, even if they were to all share the same bank account, I don't see anything wrong with that, and just work and live together.
I understand that, and my family did the same thing. And I remember my great-grandmother living with my grandmother.
Yeah.
And, and of course my mom she was younger. And then when my grandmother got in a bad way, I had grandma moved in with grandma. So it was, those things went on. We got a place together and took care of grandma till she passed away. And that's just the way we was raised. So
I think that you owe it to your family members who are older. They might have. You don't really know the whole backstory of what those people went through to make sure you're here today.
No.
There you go. Now, Heather, they got a question that says, do you catch much slack over the homeschooling?
Well, I'll have to chime in for a second.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm having trouble. My son's pulling.
That's all right. I saw it. It's no biggie. They question again, do you catch much slack over the homeschooling?
Not a whole lot, because we live in a very homeschool friendly area. A lot of people here homeschool, and a lot of my family homeschools. So we haven't caught too much, trouble over it. A few of my teacher friends, I think, are kind of like, we love public school, and so don't necessarily understand my reasonings for homeschooling. But like I said, a lot of the people around here do homeschool, and there's a huge homeschool group. So we've had a lot of support.
There you go.
And
my daughter right now here, my 16-year-old is homeschooled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's been homeschooled for quite a few years now. She had some problems a couple of years ago with a stalker.
Oh,
And,
I understand that. I've been there, so.
Yeah, we did that, and then she's got some physical problems. And sometimes it's easier to homeschool than it is to deal with the negativity of the other kids in school. If you have physical limitations.
That is the exact reason why we started. That's not the reason why we continue. The reason why we started is because, and I'm not trying to like brag or boast or anything, because our son is not the most well-behaved child ever. But our daughter that's 10 years old, I really don't think that she's ever done anything wrong in her entire life. She doesn't even want to talk to people because she's so afraid of insulting or hurting someone's feelings. Right. And she would come home every day crying and saying they were punching her and telling her that they were going to stab her on the school bus and all kinds of crazy crap.
And stealing her stuff and just all kinds of like harassment just because she was well behaved, and if she wouldn't
wouldn't stand up for herself.
Yeah, and she wouldn't join in some of the stuff. And that's initially one of the big reasons that we started, because that was just, I felt like just killing her spirit. She's such a sweet, meek little girl, and yeah.
You might have to take
I might have to go.
That's all right. You go ahead. It's good seeing you. We'll see you next time. You want to take him and step out for a few?
Yeah, I will do that. All right, bye.
All right. I understand.
See ya.
An hour for some of the kids is a little long. It was great seeing her. I hope to see more info from her. As you said with your daughter, that was some of the things that went on with mine also. And after her stalker had, I mean, like the boy walked like 5-6 miles just to, probably 4. He probably walked 4 or 5 miles just to try and get a glimpse at her. He broke into 2 houses and everything else. The school people told her, well, maybe you just need to make friends with him.
No. Maybe I just need to go over there and break his legs.
No, I had a conversation with his parents, and we did have to get the police involved, but he actually broke into 2 separate houses and tried to email her from 2 separate accounts, to do other stuff, and it was ugly. But I understand the homeschooling thing, and I actually think, well, I know because of the way she tests that she's doing better homeschooling because she's not distracted by all the stupidity in school.
Yeah. Well, my main thing with why we continue is all of the stories that my daughter would bring home, and the stories that are just now coming up about, like when she was in 1st grade, we were at home, we were kind of teaching her cursive writing, and she would go to school and she would write her name in cursive, and she would get in trouble because the teacher told her that they are not learning cursive writing until 3rd grade, so she was not allowed to use it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what they got some kind of weird government agenda or something. Why would you hold a child back if they're eager to learn something?
Why do they allow the high school students now to pick up a 60-some-odd-year-old man and body slam him in the classroom because he took the phone away from a student who refused to put his phone away during class? But then the student doesn't have problems with the school. It has to be the teacher suing the student on his own outside of the school. But the student is still allowed to go to school. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like the kids can do no wrong. It does, just like the math. It doesn't matter if you get the right or the wrong answer. It's how you got to that answer that matters. You still get partial credit. I'm sorry. 1 + 3 = 4, not 6. And we never got a partial. Well, I did this and I carried the 1 and this, that, and the other, and I came up with 6.
Yeah.
No. The answer is 4, and if it's not 4, it's wrong. Not it's partially correct because you tried.
I don't know what people I mean, the area I live in, I guess there's a lot of poor people, and I mean, we're one of them, but it just seems like poor people and drugs go hand in hand in this area, and these people's children run the streets. I mean, I've seen a little 4-year-old girl out in our street. We live on a city street right now. And this little girl, 4 years old, out riding her bike at like 11 p.m., unsupervised, totally all by herself. And then you got, teenagers running up and down the streets, flipping everybody off and cussing them out. And you can't do anything to them because they're like 14 years old. You just have to stand there like an idiot and take it. I don't know what their problem is. They're crazy.
The problem is their parents.
Well,
that's the
yeah.
problem.
I'd like to know at what point, like, who screwed up first. Those kids' parents were probably raised kind of weird, and then what were their parents like? Somebody messed up along the way.
Somebody messed up along the way. Somebody decided that they didn't want to correct their child anymore. Somebody decided that they were gonna just let them. Oh, it's just a phase they're going through. But that's my opinion, yeah. So I wasn't raised that way, so I don't know. I got, I did wrong. I knew I did wrong, and I think most people generally know right from wrong. They just decide to turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
So, well, you're going to be out there laying bricks and working on cutting more logs. Build a shed as soon as you can. I hope to see more stuff come in from Heather. I hope to see. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with the chat room here. Let's see. Common Core works. All students are indoctrinated. No, not allowed to learn on their own. Yeah, there you go. That's it, H-Wit.
Well, there was a whole hoopla. Hang on a second. Heather, what was the thing about the state of Missouri and Common Core? Oh, yeah, they were going to pass some sort of legislation forcing states to adopt Common Core and all that stuff, and Missouri did not accept it. Missouri, I'm telling you, I'm not just making this up. You guys go look all this stuff up. With the with the EPA and the wood stoves and everything, Missouri not only disagrees but passes legislation against the federal government to ensure the rights of the citizens of Missouri. So I'm really, really lucky to live in this state.
You are, because a lot of places now it's illegal to collect rainwater.
No, if you go to a prosecuting attorney here about rainwater collection, he's just going to laugh.
So I mean that's part of the stuff they're dealing with all across the United States. And my hat's off to you, brother, cutting your own wood, building your own house. If I was young and had, physically able, I'd be right there with you helping out, man. I'm proud of you being able to do that, getting out there doing those things. And the fact that your wife's there making soap and saving money and doing other things, and maybe we can get some stuff moving for you here at Around the Cabin and help you out with it. And we need to get some soap down there to Willie, because I don't know when the last time he fell in the swamp. Last time he took a bath, he fell in the swamp, and I don't know when that was. So, yeah, Willie could use some soap. But, well, I want to thank you for doing the show tonight. Now, you want to keep going once a month?
Yeah, let's keep going with that. Maybe in the summertime we could kick it up a little bit, but right now there's just, I'm just milling lumber, and that's pretty much it, just over and over and over again.
There you go. Well, I want to see pictures of the shed when you get it done now, and anything else that she wants to do and put up there, we'll take the pictures from her and show them next show and whatever else you got. And, of course, to set you up for doing stuff here on Around the Cabin so you guys can blog and share and do other things. Good show, man. Good show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, all right, say goodnight. Oh, well, I guess we should say, Heather, we got all the links you guys had put up earlier. And, of course, you guys can check out their links up under host. But aroundthecabin.com/not modern family. And Heather's blog is what?
Homemakingheather.com.
Homemakingheather.com. And your YouTube is?
Backwoods Patriot.
Backwoods Patriot. There you go on YouTube. So check all those out. All right, man. Say goodnight. Let's jump out of here then.
Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. We'll see you next time.
There you go. Go do some dishes.
Oh, yeah. See ya.